Ciao a tutti di nuovo! Hello everyone! Welcome back to Italian for Beginners. This is lesson 21, so it's our first lesson of the second part of the course we have already started. I'm your Italian teacher, Claudia, and I'm very happy to virtually see you here again for another course, for another journey into the Italian language. So, without further hesitation, let's get started. If you remember, we have finished Course 1 explaining the difference between the verb to be and the verb to stay. And we have done some examples of their uses. Let's start with the conjugation. So the verb to stay is stare. So it's a verb that belongs to the first group of Italian verbs. So the ones that end with are. And it's a regular verb. That means that to conjugate the verb, you just have to take the verb root, so the first part of the verb without the ending are or ere or ire, and you have to attach the different endings. So let's do the example of stare. Io sto, tu stai, lui, lei sta, noi stiamo, voi state, essi stanno. Okay? Did you remember the conjugation? And then let's do the conjugation of the verb to be, essere. That is irregular, as in all languages. Io sono. Tu sei. Lui, lei è, with an accent. Noi siamo. Voi siete. Essi sono. Okay? Awesome. So let's start talking about the different uses of the verb to be. We're just reviewing the last lesson we have done in course 1. Okay? So I remind you that we use the verb to be to express time. For example, sono le tre. It's 3 o'clock. Remember to use sono as 3 is plural. Or è l'una e mezzo. It's 1:30. È singular because 1 is singular. Okay? Then we use the verb to be to talk about the dates. For example, oggi è il 10 novembre. Today is November the 10th. Or è martedì. It's Tuesday. Okay? Remember that this is different from the English language. We don't use capital letters for months and the days of the week. Then we have seen how we use the verb to be to talk about your origin. In my case, I'd say sono italiana. I am Italian. Italiana because I'm a woman. For example, è americano. We have said that in Italian we don't use subjects that much. But in this case, we are sure that we're talking about a man because we have americano, not americana. So we're talking about a man. Then we use the verb to be to talk about religion. Sono cristiana, sono cristiano, I'm Christian. Siamo ebrei, we're Jewish. Or to talk about politics. È repubblicano, he's Republican, è democratico, he's democratic. Okay? The verb to be is used also when talking about materials. It's cotton, è di cotone. It's wool, è di lana. We use it to talk about relationships. We're gonna do the family in a few lessons. Sei mia sorella, è mio padre. So, you're my sister, he is my father. Then we use it to talk about physical characteristics. We are tall, siamo alte, or siamo alti. What's the difference then? So we're talking about plurals. Siamo alte, specifically, we're talking about a group of women, alte. Siamo alti refers to a group of men or a group of men with some women. Okay? Sono bassa, so it's a woman talking, bassa. We then use the verb to be to talk about locations. For example, Firenze è in Italia. Florence is in Italy. New York è in America. New York is in America. Okay? And finally, we used to talk about our conditions. For example, siamo felici, we're happy. We're gonna do a lesson focused on emotions as well. Sono tristi, they're sad. Okay? Awesome. And that's all about the verb to be. We have seen also in the last lesson of course 1 that we don't use much the verb to stay. For example, we use it when talking about feelings, specifically sto bene, sto male, I'm well, I'm not that well. So it's actually the answer to the question come stai, how are you, if you remember. And then we use the verb stare when we make the present continuous. How do we make it? We take the verb stare, we conjugate it, and then we use the verb of the sentence and we add to the verb root the desinents ando for the verbs that end with are and or endo for the verbs that end with ere or ire. Examples. Sto andando al cinema. I am going to the cinema. Sta facendo i suoi compiti. He or she is doing her homework. Stiamo guardando la TV. We're watching TV. Okay? We're gonna focus about this tense as well. This is just like an overview about the use of the verb to stay. Okay, awesome. So let's make an exercise. It's a simple exercise of translation. So you need to translate these sentences into Italian. Okay? As usual, I suggest you to pause the video and resume it once you have finished the exercise because I'm going to reveal the solutions in a bit. Okay? Time to translate. And here are the solutions. Today is Wednesday, oggi è mercoledì. It's 10 o'clock, sono le 10. I am American, sono americano or sono americana. We're visiting Italy, stiamo visitando l'Italia. He is well, sta bene. I am watching a match, sto guardando una partita. How did it go? Was it too easy? Was it too difficult? Did you make any mistakes? If you did, try to understand why you made those mistakes and try to translate these sentences one more time. Okay? Awesome. So let's do something new. Let's start the first lesson with the questions. Domande. Domande is plural. It's the plural form of domanda, feminine word. The first one is what. What in Italian is che cosa. So you have two words. Che cosa. As in English, of course, you place what, in this case che cosa, at the beginning of the question. Okay? Then we have why. Why is perché with an accent at the end. Perché. Important to note that we use perché both in the question and in the answer. So in Italian we don't have any difference between why and because. It's always perché. Then we have who, chi. Pay attention, it's not chi, it's chi. Okay? When, quando, quando. Where, dove. Don't be tempted to pronounce it as in English, dove. It's dove. How, come, come. And then we have how much, quanto, or how many, quanti. Okay, so quanto is singular, quanti plural. And that literally corresponds to how much and how many. Awesome. And finally we have which. We have two possibilities. Once again, if we're asking about something that is singular, then we pick quale. If we're asking about something that is plural, then it becomes quali. Okay? Quale, quali. Awesome. Let's do an exercise. So in this case, you just have to translate the questions that we have done. Take your time to really consolidate the knowledge that you have. so far and pause the video and resume it once you have translated all the questions. Okay? Perfect. And here are the solutions. So, how was it? Did you make any mistakes? If yes, don't worry about it. With some practice, you're gonna learn these questions by heart, that's for sure. Awesome. Okay, so before ending our first lesson, let's review all the vocabulary we have done. So, starting from questions. Domande. Please repeat right after me. It's very important to for your pronunciation. Domande. Quando? Dove? Perché? Remember, both in the question and in the answer. Che cosa? Come? Quanto? Quanti? How much? How many? Chi? Not chi, chi? Quale? Quali? Okay, everything good with the questions? Awesome. Congratulations, complimenti. You have just finished another lesson. I'm looking forward to virtually seeing you here again with me, and I wish you a wonderful day. Grazie. A presto.